I'm going to use this opportunity to show you about a curve tool and then a little bit about Boolean. Where are we right now? We have create at the object level. So if we create from here, it will be at the object level. You know, remember, if you want to create and it comes to the geometry, you bring it to create in context, right? Let's try that. We are on create in content. So if we create now, it's not going to the geometry level, or I mean the object level. It's coming to the geometry level. So if I hit curve, boom, we have curve here. You know, it's inside the geometry level. We're not going back to the object level to look for it. Okay, that is what this thing help you to do. You know. All right, cool. So we have a curve. All right, and then it's activated. When it's not activated, you don't have this cross at the head of the mouse. All right. So we can start placing the points. So let's start from here. Let's use these two lines, these lines as a guide, this line and this line. Leave the middle one in. Okay, so we place 1 point here. Okay, follow to this point up here. Drop one at the top of it. Slide it, drop it over here. Slide it, drop it here. Okay, so we can start bending it now. So let's use this polygon over here. Let's use this polygon over here, halfway of it. Place a point, 2 polygons down. Place a point, 2 polygons down. Place a point, 2 more down. Place a point. Okay, now we are here. 1 more down in the middle. Place a point, then come back to the main line we are following. Okay, place a point. Here you can just go down, or let's drop 1 in the middle. Maybe if you want to tweak it, we'll have more points. Okay, so we drop 1 here, drop 1, pass it. You want to pass it a little bit because we're going to do a Boolean. And if we leave it in the middle, there's going to be a gap. It won't cut whatever is outside of it. So when we want everything to cut, we pass the object. So we pass it down a little bit. We're about to follow this line over here. Okay, we draw this down here. Now what we are doing is like we are working as a symmetry ourselves. We are following what we did on this side of the line. So here we drop it here. We came up here, we drop it. We went the opposite way, middle halfway, drop 1, we drop 1 here. And we went 2 up, 2 up, 2 up. Then we come to the main line we are following, right? We drop 1 here. So let me get it down some more. So the symmetry goes here. We drop 1 here, boom, and then kind of angle, kind of drop it here, and then we finish it by enter. See, so we have the shape, but it's in the middle because we are drawing it from the front view is just helping us to draw it, but the actual shape, the curve itself, is in the middle of the perspective. So we have to go to perspective to see it better. So come to camera, hit B, and hit B over here. Okay, so when we tumble, you see it's in the middle. All right, it's in the middle. This wheel case, or the main container, is the one we want to use the operation on, because we're about to perform Boolean. Select the whole thing, call the move tool, position yourself right. As a matter of fact, let's go to the right side. I'll hit B, come to side, and now look for the shape, all right? Because it looks like we don't see it here. So come out of the system, and it's here. Select it, call the move tool, and now let's move it slow to this side. Okay, you can pass it a little bit because we will find it. Okay, so we have it here. So let's go back to the front view and see if it's lining right. You see, we see it now, and it looks like it's in the middle. You know, we don't have to tweak it again. If we didn't do it at the right side, it could have shipped on this side, and we have to move it in the middle. Okay, so now that we see the whole shape right, you know, because it's no more in the perspective. It came out because we pushed it out, remember? So we see everything now. So if we go back to the curve and we select nerves, you see we have a different shape. You know, we can actually enter it and have the nerve shape. Okay, remember this shape, it kind of goes out like this a little bit. So let's try get that shape a little bit. See, it kind of goes something like that. See, so just move the points out. Okay, we're not going to try to get it exactly like how I did it, because we don't want this class to be as long as always. Every time the class get longer, even though I always thought they would be shorter, but you know what I mean. So yeah, we have a shape like this. Okay, it's kind of looking similar. I think it's fine. This is just to show you guys how you go about doing it, and you guys can, you know, spend some time and get it better. Okay, you guys can spend some time, more time on it, and get it better. Okay, so the shape is here. There's no symmetry going on. So this side is completely different from this side, but it's okay. We're about to cut it through the whole thing. All right. So we're gonna stick with the nerve shape, because you see it give us this smooth shape going on. It will make the cut look better. Okay, so let's stick with that. You know, and let's come back to the edit node. All right, now go back to perspective. Okay, we are here now. So the next thing we will do is perform the extrusion. You know, decide how far the cut will go, right? So, you know, let's get out, select the whole thing by using the polygons. Okay. We got some other polygons going on. Select these ones. Okay. Let's see if because we are on the nerves from the curves, it might not give us the extrusion that we want, because extrusion might work on the polygons. But let's try and see if it will work. Okay. So let's go for C, radio meaning poly extrude, and you see that we did not have the poly extrude. So how do we use this nerve to able to get the poly extrusion? Okay, that will help us to get into another node. Okay, we have to convert this nerve curve that we have, this shape that we want, right? We have to convert it into what? Who can tell me? Into polygons. Okay, Houdini lets you convert stuff so easy, and it's very amazing. And the nice thing is that when we convert this shape into polygon, it will still remain this shape. There's not going to be any changes to it, which is very nice. So all we have to do, we already know how to, you know, get stuff, right? If you right click at this node, and what do we want? We want conversion. You type C, convert is right here. Okay, you drop it, and then it's already there. There's the convert to. If you guys can see, convert to is giving us polygon. You could choose, it's a lot. When you use conversion, it's a lot to convert one object type to. Okay, so we are going from nerve to polygons. That's what we want. We want to convert to polygon, which is the default. So it's already polygon. So we will go over there, come back to this conversion node, and now if we go back, we already, the conversion is done. We have that node over here, and the default is what we want. We want the polygon. We don't have to do anything. There's some other connectivity we can change, but that's what we want. We want the quadrilaterals. Okay, all this stuff you can go through later. They are very self-explanatory. Okay, all right, cool. So we have converted the nerve to polygon. Okay, so now if we come out to our tools and we are on the polygons, we select this nerve converted polygon. Okay, we select it and we call poly extrude. We got it. We got poly extrude right here. Okay, all we have to do is push it through. Very cool, right? We push it through. Let's keep going. You can cut, you see, because it passed here, it means there's going to be a hole here, and there's a gap here. It haven't reached there. That means that gap will still remain. So you have to decide how far you want the cut. I think from the bike has some computer screen or some other stuff that you can create here. You know what I mean? But you know, we are not even going to look at the original bike. We can still be creative. We can even change that design. You don't have to be always the same, all right? Unless, you know, your supervisor or it's required for you to do that, right? So, you know, you can change stuff sometimes. So let's go a little bit, all right? It's cool over there. Now you can see that this side is open, right? When you have an object with an open space like this, it can affect the way you work on booleans. Okay, so let's close it. So when we come back to the properties on the poly extrude, we have the back open. So let's close it. Boom. So it's closed. It's better. Okay. All right, it's okay, because it looks like we are still working on the back face, but it's okay. So now we have the shape going through, all right, which is cool. And we are having another problem, because if this shape is cut out, there's going to be a blockage. Our circle is going to be blocked, so we have to cut that circle too. So before we use this curve that we have performed on, by the way, let me save this scene for now. Okay, so we have the shape, and it's still in the geometry level, which is cool, because if we have it in anywhere, we have to call it. Remember earlier in the course, I show you guys how to call stuff or to use stuff when they are not in the geometry level. Okay, so that's why you want to create it inside here, so that you don't have to go through that operation. Okay, we see all this stuff here because everything is selected, so it's still reflecting the initial drawings and where it was before it came here. So if we come down here, all that stuff is gone because it's not showing anything up there. Okay, cool. So how do we get this shape before we perform the original Boolean? Because that is also going to be a Boolean, but it might be a little simpler. So let's move this side a little bit. Okay. Now, what do we need to do this cut over here? I think we need a circle. Okay. We need a circle to cut through this shape right here. Okay. So how do we do that? We have a circle up here, so it's easy. By the way, let's get out from the system. Most of the time when you are initially placing stuff like this, you have to sometimes be at the right viewport so that you don't have to move stuff all the time. Because sometimes when you create it randomly in the perspective, you have to match stuff, and then you spend a lot of time doing that. So let's go back to camera, hit B on the keyboard. Let's come to the side. I think the side is better.